Hi everyone, today I'm talking about why I've gone and bought some shares in IRobot. If you'd been checking out my previous video on IRobot, you would know that I really fancy getting into this company. And also on the free stocks I'm buying, I mentioned that IRobot was a possibility that I go buy this stock sometimes in November. And I have gone and bought IRobot in November. And we're going to talk about kind of like my position size, what I'm planning to do, where I think the stock's going to go, and why I got into the stock. But if you're looking for a little bit more of a deep dive into IRobot, then go check out my previous video out on IRobot, where I've gone into the company quite a bit and the last earnings report and why the stock's down at these prices. Now, before I get started, guys, if you could give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, it really helps the channel out, and we have been growing up quite a bit recently on the channel. So when we take a look at IRobot stock chart, we can see that it has been on a bit of a drop recently. It is a bit of a catching the falling knife trend, so there is a little bit of the risk of that this stock could go down absolutely huge, even more from here. But it's one of those where you got to balance it out now, where you see how much more risk to upside is there and how much risk is it going down here or it going up from here. Now, I think this stock is massively heavily discounted. We can see back in the 23rd of April, this stock was $130 stock, and now we're talking about a stock that's trading around the $45 range. Now, I bought my shares at $45.51, so right about where it is as we're recording this video. And like I say, I'm kind of thinking now there's a lot more upside from here. The stock is over halved right now, and that's kind of crazy because IRobot has been in the $100 range really for quite a long time. So for it to come down this much has kind of surprised me, and that's one of the reasons why I've gone in and bought the shares in IRobot. Now, if you haven't checked the previous video out, mainly the reason why is that IRobot's down so much is because of the China trade war, and it has had a few gaps down because of earnings. And there was one recently, its last earnings report sent the stock to gap down. And it was basically because of the China trade war and the tariffs that have put the stock down. And also because of the China trade war, it has now gone and cut its outlook. And its outlook was going to be something around the double-digit mark, around the 14% mark. And now the growth's going to go a little bit lower than that. It's going to be back into single figures. But nevertheless, it's still going to be high single figure growth from IRobot, which is something really good. Now, for me, just because of the potential for this stock to go down, I have left myself a little bit more room for me to go buy some more shares. I've kind of got about the quarter of the position that I want in IRobot, so I would be looking to hopefully buy this stock 3 more times at some point. And yeah, I'd like to probably triple my position size that I currently have right now in IRobot, to be honest with you. So I am kind of left myself to buy some more shares just in case the stock does go down a little bit more. If it does go up, then that's fine. But I don't see the stock really going up unless some amazing news comes out. If Amazon says it's going to buy it or something them sort of lines, then I don't see IRobot going up anytime soon. Obviously, the China trade war deal that's going on at the moment, that might help it out slightly. But at the same time, it's going to take IRobot some positive news for it to kind of break this downtrend and go back up from here. So when I looked into IRobot, one of the things that I really like is it's still grew 9% year on year. It's now doing some higher margins, which is super. And when we look at the stock, you know, the EPS is going to get hit a little bit. Nevertheless, it's still going to be growing near the 10% mark going forward. And it won't take IRobot, because it does have fantastic growth, and let's not forget, it won't take them too long to try and recover these losses, especially on the EPS side. So it'll only take them about a year to get back to where they were before it got hit by the China trade war tariffs and everything like that. So that's not too bad, really, considering how long it will take to recover. And also, when we look at stocks that are kind of like at this kind of growth rate, a lot of these are trading at quite a high valuation. I look at IRobot, and one thing that I really checked out, first of all, with IRobot, see how it valued to previous valuations, is that it's at its lowest PE ever. And this stock is also normally trading around a 30% PE. 30% 30 PE. And obviously now it's down around about the 16 PE. That's really low. It's nearly half its PE. And especially when we talk about companies that are growing near the double-digit mark or above the double-digit mark, we are normally looking at stocks that are having a PE of 30 plus. Previously, what IRobot had, you only have to have a look at stocks like Microsoft, Expedia, which was one that I covered the other day. Them sort of companies, they're trading at 30 above PEs because they're growing at double-digit growths. IRobot, for me, while it's at this PE, is standing out as massively undervalued. And I think the one thing that did push me over the line in the end to go at IRobot is the balance sheet. The balance sheet has no debt on it, which is absolutely fantastic. This stock could potentially, if a recession came along, what would happen to iRobot? Are people going to go and buy the the artificial intelligence tools to operate around the house, like the vacuum cleaners, the lawnmowers? Probably not. So it has to have a little bit of a recession proof right now. And when I look at this stock, and when I feel very comfy to see that this balance sheet is super, no debt, and I really do like buying companies that have no debt on their balance sheet, especially at the moment with a lot of the talk about a recession. So that balance sheet was kind of the one thing that really pushed me over the line. I think the P and the balance sheet, and when we combined it with the discount and the growth it still offers, I think those 4 points were really what pushed me over. And like I say, I do really like this company, and I probably will want to buy some more shares in this company. I just don't want to rush in case something happens and the stock goes down, especially with the trend that it's on right now, and this stock, just keeps going down lower and lower. So I just want to be really careful about that. Now, for me, getting into the stock, obviously when I get into a stock, the whole point of, investing into stocks is that you see yourself making money in that company. You've got to not get attached to a stock. You've got to I feel like some investors sometimes get into stocks and they kind of like get excited and then they go, hold on, what's my actual game plan in here? And my game plan, really looking at iRobot, is that I see somewhere between a 30 to 50% return on this company. If the stock doesn't kind of like recover that quick, then potentially the returns could go a little bit higher. We'll be talking maybe 50 to 60% at some point. So for me, when I get into a company, I do want to see at least a 30% upside. And like I say here, in iRobot, I do see a 30 to 50% upside. I'd like to probably think more about getting into the 40 to 50% return, depending on what happens. But like I say, I see a good big return really on this stock next year. And like I say, I'm leaving myself to probably buy some more shares. I'd probably like to buy the stock again, maybe in December. I'm also considering trying to get into Facebook and Disney as well. But iRobot is another company that I'd probably like to just increase that position size in December as well. And that's my plan going ahead. But like I say, guys, whatever happens with iRobot, if I do buy some shares, if I sell the shares, I'll always make a video about it and tell you what I'm doing with the company overall. And also it'll be my portfolio return. When I do the recaps of the end of the month about how my portfolio did, it'll be in there now as well, so you can track it in there as well, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're looking for some iRobot news and me talking about buying some shares in iRobot, I know I've got a few iRobot subscribers on the channel. It was a very popular video last time I talked about iRobot. So thank you so much for checking the video out, guys. If you could give it a like, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next video.